Hey everyone, this is my Domane AL5 Gen 4, and I pronounce it Domane like the Italian word for tomorrow. None of that really matters, but today we're gonna clean it. I highly recommend a bike stand if you're doing your own maintenance. This one is robust because it also accommodates an e-bike. Apparently also a garbage can if you can't find your table the day you're making the YouTube video. The can is my stage. Let's begin with the things we're gonna need. I have Bontrager Degreaser that I picked up at my local Trek store. Muck-off, which was highly recommended from James, who's like my bicycle mentor. Not one, but two collapsible buckets that my wife said I could use because apparently I'm replacing them. One of those non-scratchy hand sponges. A toothbrush. Your chain lubricant of choice. Tri-flow to oil the pivot points. Also a dummy hub. This is a Parktool DH1 for my bike. A set of bike brushes. This is a soft one. This is a specialty one with different brushes and a tool to clean out the cassette. As well as a hard bristle brush. And a microfiber cloth, which I've stolen from my wife, but it's okay because she's in Europe. We're going to find out if she actually watches my YouTube videos. Also, not pictured a garden hose, but this is everything that we need. First thing that I want to do is clean up these drawers, make sure that there's no debris in there because I don't want to scratch up my seat post. I've already cleaned these. What I'm doing now is just a theatrical performance. Stands to reason, I'd also clean the seat post as well, or all of my efforts here would be in vain. These e-bike clamps are way too big for the space that I have available on the seat post. I'm going to have to adjust. I keep a record of the seat height measurement in the house, but I have masking tape here, so I'm just going to tape it for now. And using a 4mm hex, I'll loosen the clamp on the seat post till it's able to move, and then I'm going to raise the seat up just a couple of inches. After which I'll gently snug it down, but not too tight of course. The actual torque is 6 Newton meters. I'll use a torque wrench on assembly. We'll try mounting the bike again. And now it fits with no problem. As my own preference, I'll change the angle a bit, and then I'll raise it up. That should be good. Let's take a tour. Making our way down to the drivetrain, we're going to start there and have a look. And you can see it's not terrible, because I do clean my bike regularly. I don't ride in the mud or anything like that. I do get caught in the rain every once in a while. The front sprocket, equally dirty. Making our way to the derailleur, we could see some accumulation on this lower jockey wheel. If I pull it down, we could also see some accumulation and splatter here on the jockey wheel and the derailleur. The bar tape is always the nastiest with dirt and sweat. The same could be said for the shifter and the grips. The front tire isn't nearly as bad, but we'll service that as well. That concludes the tour of my dirty bike. Let's get underway and begin the cleaning process. It's worth pointing out that if you have accessories on your bike, now would be a good time to remove them, like this front light, or perhaps a light under your seat. I also want to take a moment, now that the wheels are in the air, and slowly walk through the wheels to see if I find any broken glass, thorns, or whatnot that should be addressed. This appendage on the rear wheel is actually a multi-tool, which we're going to remove. It's held in probably by magnet or friction. And I'm going to insert it into the front wheel on the brake side, falling all the way in, and spin it in the direction of the tires until the axle comes loose. While supporting the tire, I pull out the axle, dropping the entire wheel out of the bike. Without the wheel in the way, we could see it threads in just like this. The tool is then reinserted where it was in the rear tire, but I'll stop to remind people, if your chain is not on the smallest sprocket, we're going to turn the pedals and we're going to shift up until it's all the way at the bottom sprocket, so we have the maximum amount of slack. There's like 50 crows over my head. Weird. Getting back to this, it will also be turned in the forward direction of the wheel, all the way while supporting the top of the wheel with my hand. I'll pull the axle through, releasing the wheel from the bike, slowly dropping it down and pulling forward on the derailleur to make slack. The wheel is removed from the bike. We're going to be using this as we're installing the idle wheel on it from our Parktool device. So I'm going to unscrew the end because we're not using this whole mechanism, just the wheel. Inserting the axle back through the frame, I install the idle wheel through the axle. And what I'll need to do now is bring the chain around so I can bring the axle all the way to the end. Kind of difficult to do with a tripod to the right of me, but I'm doing my best on video. Get the chain around the wheel. Then I'll screw the axle all the way back in, and then gently snug it down, just like that. Then I'll take a moment and give it a couple of turns just to make sure everything's operating correctly. and nothing is binding. 2 buckets of warm water. This one's for the drivetrain, and this one is for the frame and body. So I'm dropping in all of my tools that correspond to the bucket and let them soak. The bike will now be hosed down with water completely. This is just to remove any loose dirt as well as have the bike wet so grease doesn't stain any of the paint or whatnot. Using the degreaser I mentioned earlier, I start spraying it specifically on the drivetrain components, chain, jockey wheel, derailleur, remembering to come around to the other side, getting the other side of the front sprocket as well. I rotate the chain to ensure complete coverage. And while the bike is sitting, I'm going to start on the cassette with the degreaser, spraying an application degreaser all over the cassette to cover everywhere. However, avoiding spraying degreaser directly into the bearing areas. I lean it with the cassette pointing downward to keep any degreaser out of the bearings. In the meantime, I start my next process with the soft brush, cleaning the tires, the rims, the spokes, all around, the brake discs. And then once everything's clean, I spin it around and repeat the whole process, except for the cassette. I don't want this brush touching the cassette. Moving to the other wheel, I repeat this process again. This wheel is somewhat simpler since there's no cassette that I have to avoid with this brush. I do one side, followed by the other side, and the brake disc requires little effort. Back to the rear wheel again, which has the degreaser. Using the brushes specifically assigned for this task, we'll start cleaning the cassette. If you go in one way, it'll turn the cassette, which allows you to keep rotating it. Brushing in the other way allows the cassette to be cleaned. So I go around in a circle. I would generally do this on the ground, but the tripod is in the air. Finish off with the harder bristle brush. We can see the black dirt dripping off as I lay it down. Several minutes later, it's ready to be washed out, so we'll begin this procedure now. And as I wash it, I'll keep rotating that cassette and spraying again till everything comes out clean. And if it doesn't come out clean, I will degrease it again and wash it till I'm satisfied. The water pressure is not too high, and I'm not spraying any water directly in the bearing areas. With the cassette degreased, the rest of the wheel will now be washed to remove that detergent. Flip around and repeat. Spraying till I see that there's no soap bubbles anymore on the ground lets me know the wheel has been completely rinsed, and when it is, I'll move on to the other wheel. The front wheel is rinsed off in the exact same fashion on both sides until no soap bubbles are seen anymore on the ground. Using my toothbrush, I'm going to start cleaning the chain from all sides. I've sprayed the toothbrush with degreaser, and that's along with the degreaser that's already on the drivetrain. Also, the front sprocket will be cleaned. This is done from both sides of the bike, getting both of those gears. Switching to different brushes as needed to get the job done. The jockey wheels are also detailed on both sides. Moving to the specialty brush to get all the recesses in the derailleur. Once satisfied, the drivetrain will be washed off. We can see all of that black gunk accumulating on the ground. So we're going to keep washing until there's no more black gunk. The pedals are spun as everything is cleaned to make sure that all of the surface areas are in contact with the fresh water. An inspection is then conducted to make sure that everything is clean. If it was dirty, we would just degrease and do the same process over again till we were satisfied with the results. This includes the chain guard as well. Now the entire bike is completely sprayed once more, and the muck-off will be applied pretty much everywhere on the bike, obviously covering both sides of the bike as I do this. I wait a few minutes, and with the soft bristle brush, I start detailing the frame. I could also opt to use the soft mitt instead of the brush. Though I do find the brush easier, the mitt will work as well. I believe the handlebars and everything around it is the nastiest part of the whole bike. So we're going to give that extra attention, make sure that all this is cleaned up. The brush in this area would be equally effective at cleaning up the handlebars, the shift levers, all the components of the cockpit. Extra attention is also given to the underside of the fork. Being careful as we continue to work to stay away from the drivetrain, because these are not drivetrain brushes. Attention is given to the saddle to make sure the top of the saddle is nice and clean, as well as the back of the saddle where all the dirt is kicked up from the rear tire. Now the bike will be rinsed off completely. Until all the white suds are gone from the bottom of the bike. At that point we fire up the compressor. Working my way from the top down, I use the compressor to blow off all the water, being aware not to get the air directly into the bearing surfaces that you could find on the neck or down lower in the drivetrain. So I'm spinning the chain and drying all the water out of the chain, the wheels as well. The cassette is dried off, both sides of the wheels, blow that dry. Then I'll finish this event by drying off the second wheel. Microfiber towels will then be used to get any water I may have missed. Obviously, if you don't have an air compressor, you can use microfiber towels to dry off the bike. It'll just take a larger towel or more towels. But I'm just detailing it at this point, getting the remaining drops of water. The results look nice. It's like a new bike. All the nastiness is gone from the cockpit. The derailleur looks brand new. So does the chain. No dirt on there. Front sprocket looks good as well. So I'll begin assembly by removing this axle. I'm going to unscrew it now. As I pull it out, I'm going to take off that idler wheel off the chain. Again, hard to do with the tripod in the way, but I manage. Pulling out the axle. I'll carefully dab it with the microfiber towel to make sure any water droplets that got on have been removed. And I'll do the same thing on the 4 mounting points here as well. Adding a small dab of anti-seize to the threads. I lift up on the chain and pull back on the slack so I could get it around the smallest sprocket. Once around the sprocket, I lock the wheel into position. And while holding up the wheel with my hands, I grab that axle and push it through to hold everything into place, screwing it all the way in and then just giving it a little nudge at the end to tighten it down, just a little. After this, I'll give the pedals a little rotation just to make sure everything's working fine. The front wheel goes on next. There's not a whole lot of stuff in the front wheel, just make sure the pads are aligned. Push that axle all the way through. Goes on relatively easily, and I tighten it down. Anti-seize was used here as well. Using this tool, I'll bring it to full seat and then a little nudge. Spins just fine. Setting my torque wrench now for 10 Newton meters will be tightening down the wheels. The socket is actually 6 mil. Connect the torque wrench and tighten it slowly till we hear the click. 10 Newton meters on the rear. I'll do the exact same thing again. At which point I'll replace the multi-tool. Now I'll be using Tri-Flow to oil the pivot points on the drivetrain. Starting with the derailleur, there are several areas here. Some of them are obvious, and some of them you'll see as you shift gears if you want to know where they are. If it bends or moves on some sort of pivot, put a little oil on both ends. But not too much oil, or it'll just attract dust. Then run through the front shifter and make sure everything is working properly. Rotating the chain until I find the master link, which is right here. This will be my starting point. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to oil the chain as I rotate it slowly, a drip on each segment of every link until it makes its way all the way around back to the starting point again. Several minutes later, I'll wrap a shop towel around the chain and slowly turn it to remove all the excess oil from the chain. Now it's time to lower the bike from the stand. And loosen this bolt so I can lower the seat back into its original position. Then I'll tighten it slightly with my fingers just to provide a little bit of resistance. And from the rear, I'll align it to make sure it's straight. Finally, removing the tape and giving the post one final clean. Then I'll set my torque wrench for about 7 Newton meters. and tighten the bolt down with the torque wrench until it clicks. The best thing now is to go out and test this bike, preferably in the neighborhood in case something goes wrong. I don't have too far to get back. But that concludes this video on the cleaning and oiling of the Domane AL5 Gen 4 using the Trek method. I hope you found this video enjoyable, entertaining, and informative. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below, helps me out a lot when you do, and hit that subscribe button to be informed of more videos like this when they come out. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Would you like to reply?